We're fresh off Selection Sunday, and I've got you set to win every office pool and bracket contest that you're in. No, I'm only kidding. We know that everyone's bracket is going to be busted by day 2, but let's get into some serious topics about who can and will make the Final Four. I also have my national championship prediction for you, and we're going to hit on some other topics in the world of sports. Let's get into it. Welcome into the second edition of the Weekly Huddle, where we talk about the hottest sports topics and we have a little fun with it. And we are fresh off Selection Sunday. Obviously, everyone knows that. If you haven't filled out your bracket, you better get to it. And my first impression is that the West region in the bracket is absolutely a gauntlet. Now, my national championship prediction is the Florida Gators. If you follow me, you know that. I've been saying that since the beginning of January. Now everyone's saying it, but I'm sticking with the pick. We saw them and cashed with them yesterday as they won the SEC Tournament Championship. And Florida, this team is stacked from Elijah Martin, Walter Clayton Jr., down low, Alex Condon might be the most underrated player in college basketball. Not so much anymore, but they have skill position players down low. Ruben Chenyulu is a force. They have so much depth. They go 9 deep, and they're going to wear you down. In the words of Coach Todd Golden, we will wear them down. And that's what they do to teams time and time again. I do not see another team in the tournament that can beat the Florida Gators. Now, anything can happen. This is March Madness. Any team can have an off game at any given night, but on paper, there is no better team than Florida, and they're my pick to win the national championship. That being said, they got absolutely hosed. When you look at the West region, I mean, they may be playing the back-to-back defending champion UConn Huskies in the second round. In that bracket, you also have Texas Tech, you have Missouri, and you have St. John's. We all know the job that Rick Pitino's doing with the Johnnies. So just getting out of that region, that's by far the toughest region. And we're also going to talk about the SEC, the conference that I know the most about. I've watched almost every SEC game this season. I'm being dead serious with you. And you're going to see that my Final Four is all SEC teams, and that's just how it worked out. I'll explain why. But the SEC, the NCAA Tournament, better known as the SEC Tournament Round 2, because the conference got 14 teams in. That is by far a record. No conference has ever come close to that. SEC teams battling it out. And yeah, so my Final Four, here it is. So a lot of you are going to see Texas A&M in my Final Four and go, Jimmy, what are you thinking? But it was mainly just a matchup thing that got them there. I had them playing Michigan in the second round. Michigan turns the ball over more than any team in all of college basketball. And what does Texas A&M do? Well, they play tenacious defense, force turnovers, and they're the number one offensive rebounding team in the country. So they won't have trouble getting by the Wolverines. And then I have them knocking off Auburn. Can they beat Auburn? Absolutely. Now, if you picked Auburn to go to the Final Four, would I blame you? No, they're the number one overall seed, but I took Texas A&M to knock them off. Of course, the committee gave Duke the easiest path to the Final Four, and they're still going to get beat. I have Arizona knocking them out. We'll see about the injury to Cooper Flagg and his ankle, but even if he's 100% healthy, Duke's going down. Arizona's a very good team. And then Alabama against Arizona. We're going to go ahead and take Alabama, although they need Grant Nelson to be healthy there. And then you get down to the Midwest, where I have Houston and Tennessee. Now that matchup, if it comes to fruition, is going to be fantastic. And it was very tough for me. I almost went with Houston there. It's almost a coin flip game. And if you took Houston, no argument again there for me. But I have Tennessee, and I actually have a rematch of the SEC Tournament Championship for the national championship. That's just how it played out. Again, this is the SEC Tournament Round 2. 4 SEC teams make the Final Four. Florida takes it all. But let's get into some sleepers and teams that can make a run that are probably not on your radar. So we're getting into sleepers, teams that are not on your radar. But before we do, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. We would like to thank all the new and current subscribers and the clients that we are helping make money. If you're new to the channel, I sell sports betting picks, and there's a link below in the description. If you want to join the winning team, we are on a massive run right now. We're on an 18-4 free pick run alone. So link down below for that. Also a disclaimer that this video is for entertainment purposes only. You must be 21 or older to gamble or bet in the United States of America. And please gamble responsibly. So we get into the sleepers here. And the first team I'm going to talk about is Missouri. Okay. They come in as a 6 seed, and the Missouri Tigers are very, very good. Now they're in that tough bracket that I've talked about, but they can potentially make a push. And if they match up with Florida, I know St. John's can beat Florida, and I know Missouri can beat Florida. In fact, they were the only team to give Florida a home loss all season. Missouri has one of the best three-point shooters in the entire country in Caleb Grill. They have Tamar Bates. They have Mark Mitchell down low. They get to the free throw line as much as anyone. This is a very well-rounded team, and they deserve some kind of award no matter what it is, because they went 0-18 in SEC play last season, came back. Now they're one of the best teams in the entire nation. Missouri, extremely underrated in a conference that is the best of all time. Now, you're probably sick of hearing me talk about the SEC. So let me give you a team that is not in the SEC that can make a deep run, and that is the Clemson Tigers. All right. Everyone wants to talk about Duke in the ACC. They get all the attention, but Clemson is a team that can make a deep run for so many reasons. First of all, they did it last year, and they brought back a lot of the guys from that team. But when you look at their metrics, they're fantastic. They are top 25 in adjusted offensive and defensive efficiency. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation. So well-rounded, such a good team, ran through the ACC, and then took a tough loss to Louisville in the championship. I mean, they are a team that you want to keep your eye on down low. Now, unfortunately, they're in there with Houston and Tennessee, but Clemson definitely a sleeper to make a deep run. So those are my basic thoughts on Monday. I mean, we just had Selection Sunday. Let's get into a couple other topics in the world of sports. I've got 2 more quick hitters for you on the Weekly Huddle. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is NFL free agency. And we don't have time to get into everything today. But number 1, Aaron Rodgers needs to go to the Steelers. I think that's almost a done deal. DK Metcalf's already there. And if Aaron Rodgers goes there, they become an immediate Super Bowl contender. But what I really want to talk about is, how about that drama with the Cowboys? So if you don't know, DeMarcus Lawrence left. He went to Seattle. And Micah Parsons obviously plays D-line for Dallas. And DeMarcus Lawrence said that he left because he knew he was never going to win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. And then Micah Parsons took offense to that, called him a clown. They went back and forth on Twitter. And whoever side you're on, drop a comment below, because I would love to know. I personally am on the side of DeMarcus Lawrence, and I'll tell you why. He wasn't wrong. What he said was correct. He's never going to win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. Why? Because they don't do anything in free agency. They think Dak's their guy. They're sticking with him. They've been with him forever. They win regular season games and do nothing in the playoffs. They haven't done anything in the playoffs in the last 20 years. And they have not made any significant moves in free agency whatsoever. They're just going to run it back. It's the same thing year after year. Cowboys fans always get excited and they're always disappointed. And DeMarcus Lawrence was right. He just said the truth. He's never going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. Now, Micah Parsons, I understand his perspective as well. It's his team. He's going to stand up for his team. So interesting back and forth there. I thought it was very entertaining, but I take the side of Lawrence because the Cowboys aren't making any moves and they need to start. We're going to wrap things up on the Weekly Huddle with a little MLB talk because a lot of you probably don't know, but the baseball season starts tomorrow way overseas in Tokyo, Japan, and I am going to give you a season win total. We had to tie some sports betting into the show. I like the Milwaukee Brewers over their win total sitting at 83.5, and I like it for so many reasons. Number one, did you know there were only two teams with a better run differential last season than the Brewers, and they both played in the World Series? That would be the Dodgers and the Yankees. Other than that, the Brewers were third in run differential. They can absolutely smash the baseball. They have a fantastic rotation. And then you get into the rest of the division, and there's not a single good team there. There's an okay team possibly in the Cubs. This is going to be the worst version of the Cardinals that you've seen ever. Their win total is the lowest win total they've had in a very long time. The Brewers have some good pitching, but their offense is going to really struggle. And the Reds are mediocre as well. So the Brewers ran away with the division last season, and they're going to do the same thing this year. Now, I know they have to play games against other teams, but this is an elite level team. I love the Brewers to go up and over their season win total. Drop a comment on anything that I've said, whether you agree, disagree, and let us know who your pick is to win the NCAA National Championship. March Madness is here. I'm pumped, and that'll do it for this week's Weekly Huddle. I've got sports betting content and picks coming out the rest of the week. We'll see you next time.